Buenos dias. Hey, we're going to have a wonderful little video here, and it's about the verbs. Regular AR, ER, and IR verbs. So first, let's start off talking about them. So early on, when you learned the verb ser, to be, I explained to you guys that verbs in the infinitive always end with either an ER, like ser, an AR, or an IR. And here on this page, we have exactly that. We have the verb hablar, which means to talk. So when it ends with just an AR or with an ER, that is the infinitive, and that is the equivalent to mean to talk. So think about it. If I just walk up to you and I just, out of the blue, say, to talk, you'd probably look at me pretty strangely and walk away. However, if I walked up to you and said, I talk, at least I've said something. I've created a sentence, but to talk is not a sentence. It's just a reference to an action, nothing more. So here, when we conjugate this verb, it's different than in English, as you've learned with the verb ser. So with hablar, which is a regular AR verb, all we have to do is take, let me make this a little bigger, there you go. Take the AR off and replace it with O. Here we take the AR off in the to form, hablas, you speak, and replace it with AS. I'm going to make this even colorful. See? There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And then with the he, él, ella, or usted form, he, she, or you formal talks, habla, we take the AR off and replace it with A. With the nosotros form, meaning we talk or speak, hablamos. Vosotros, y'all talk, habláis, and ellos hablan. So we call these regular verbs because if you know one regular verb, regular AR verb, you can conjugate all of the regular AR verbs. This is to say that if the verb was, let's say, mirar, to watch or look at, mirar, you do the same thing. You take the AR, put the O. Yo miro. Yo hablo, yo miro. So it's very systematic. Same here. Yo, or tú hablas, tú miras. Él habla, él mira. Do you follow? Do you see how there's a trend here? Nosotros hablamos, nosotros miramos, or the verb to listen, escuchar. Escuchamos. Vosotros habláis, ellos, ellas, ustedes hablan. So there's the conjugation for regular AR verbs. ER verbs, fairly similar. You take the ER off and you replace it with the O. You take the AR off and you replace it with ES. You take the ER off and you replace it with E, etc. EMOS, for the nosotros form, comemos, comes, and comen. And the IR verbs are almost the same endings. Take a look very closely and compare where they differ with the ER verbs. So far, vivo, vives, vive are the same. However, take a look at the nosotros and vosotros forms. We have IMOS where we had EMOS, and we had IS where we had EIS. Notice that there's an accent as well. And then it's the same again. So the only difference is really in the nosotros and vosotros form. So let me recap this with you. If you know one AR verb, regular AR verb, you can conjugate all regular AR verbs. If you can conjugate one regular ER verb, you can conjugate all regular ER verbs. And if you can conjugate one regular IR verb, you can conjugate all regular IR verbs. So, with that said, let's go on to a practice exercise. Go ahead and have this sheet in front of you. This was, by the way, included in the email that I just sent to you. So let's do this practice. I'm going to move this over here, get out of the way, and using the sheet, let's do this one together. Práctica Los verbos, capítulo 2. Yo, you already know this one. Soy. And then, what would be the yo form of vivir? It's right there on the sheet. Yo vivo en Madrid, España. Take a look at this one. Estudiar, it's a regular AR verb. What's the yo form? Yo estudio. We took the AR off, we replaced it with that O. Mis amigos, they son Claudia y Diego. Ellos asisten. Okay, now that we've done the first 5 of these, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys do the rest of these on your own, and you can go ahead and check your answers in just a few minutes, okay? So go ahead and hit pause. Alrighty, we're back. Hopefully you got this done. Let's take a look. So we did soy, vivo, estudio, son, y asisten. And then I had you guys go ahead and continue. So, por las tardes, in the afternoons, nosotros preparamos, we prepare the homework. Las clases que nosotros tomamos, the classes that we take, son difíciles, are difficult. Nosotros necesitamos estudiar mucho. We need to study a lot. Después de estudiar, after we study, nosotros practicamos el fútbol en el gimnasio. We practice. A las 8 de la tarde, yo regreso. I return a mi dormitorio y a las 9 yo camino. I walk con mis amigos a la plaza. I'll go to the plaza, walk to the plaza to drink a refreshment. Normalmente, nosotros regresamos al dormitorio. We return to the dormitory to sleep. Antes de dormir, yo escucho música y hablo con mi novia por teléfono. Mi novia es Alicia. Alicia no vive en Madrid. Ella vive en Barcelona. Alicia es estudiante de arte. Okay, go ahead and take a look at these. Check your answers. See how they are. Pay special attention to leer with the double E and creer with the double E. It's just a regular ER verb. You take the ER off and you replace it with an O. You take the ER off and replace it with EN in this case, because the they form of the verb. Okay, so make sure you go over that. If you have questions, please let me know. The conjugations of the verb are going to be very important, so get started on them immediately. Start going over them. If you're having a hard time memorizing them, repetition. I've had students say, I just don't know how to do it. Well, take a piece of paper if you have to, like this. Turn it sideways, okay? And if you have to take hablar and conjugate it, 15 times and say it out loud, then do it by all means. Okay? Bueno, que tengan buen día. Adiós.